Imani Sharpless, a 26-year-old aspiring model and rapper, was tragically shot alongside her boyfriend, Cordell McDuffie. Imani suffered a fatal gunshot to the head. The reason? A dispute over a parking spot. A young life was taken over by something as trivial as a parking space. It doesn't make sense, does it? But sadly, that's the harsh reality in our society. Even the smallest things can lead to the most unimaginable outcomes sometimes. How did an argument about a parking spot turn into a deadly encounter that shattered a young woman's dreams and left the community in disbelief? Let's look at what happened that fateful day in front of the Home Depot in Brooklyn. Imani Sharpless worked as a teacher's assistant at a local school in Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York. She was committed to helping kids with after-school programs, but outside of the classroom, she pursued her goals of being a model and rapper. She had a long-lasting relationship with Cordell McDuffie, a 36-year-old father with 2 children. They were working on a flat with plans to move in together. But fate had other plans. September 9, 2023 was just another day. They headed to Home Depot in Brooklyn for their usual shopping. Little did they know that this day would change their lives forever. When they arrived at the store, Cordell was in the driver's seat, and he was trying to drive into the spot. As he came closer, another driver had the exact same thought and was trying to reverse into the same spot. Reportedly, Cordell refused to back up and briefly honked his horn in an attempt to get that parking spot. What started out as a small disagreement between the two men over a parking space soon turned into a heated argument. After some heated words, Cordell decided to let the other driver take the spot. He left Imani in the car and went into the store, thinking the drama was over. But when he got back to his white Hyundai Sonata, things took a bad turn. At that time, the other driver reappeared, moved to the driver's side of the car and started shooting at Cordell and Imani before fleeing the scene. But why would he turn to violence even after getting the parking spot? It's a puzzling question that adds even more confusion to the already chaotic scene. It is said that the attacker waited for the right moment to act when possible. Witnesses had moved on. Cordell's heartbreaking statement, "I gave him the parking spot," shows how senseless the violence was. Shocked witnesses quickly dialed 911 for assistance. They couldn't believe what they were hearing and seeing. When the officers got there, the scene was complete chaos. Cordell remained conscious and able to communicate, despite being shot in the back and leg. What was Imani's condition after the shooting? She was unconscious and unresponsive due to a serious gunshot wound to her head. She was immediately rushed to Kings County Hospital, where doctors decided that she needed surgery to remove the bullet lodged in her brain. However, her family was left to go through a painful period of uncertainty as the surgeons debated whether or not to do the surgery. They hoped that the swelling in Imani's brain would go down on its own before attempting the risky procedure to extract the bullet. Surveillance cameras captured the shocking incident. In the footage, the gunman is seen standing at the corner of Willoughby and Sanford Streets. He waited patiently for families to pass by. Then he crossed the street and opened fire on the couple, who were standing just across the street outside the Home Depot. From his hospital bed, Cordell spoke with a mixture of disbelief and pain. "She's just full of life. She's a good person," he said, his voice strained. Cordell described what happened that Saturday afternoon. Their white Hyundai Sonata had numerous bullet holes because of the shootout. According to Cordell, the other car went too far forward, close to the entrance, while trying to park. Cordell ended up behind them, making them reverse, but he didn't realize he was in their way. He briefly honked the horn, and then they had an argument. Cordell made it clear to the other driver that there was a misunderstanding. He clarified that while the other person thought he was yelling, he actually wasn't. It was the loud music from his phone that caused the confusion. Imani underwent surgery in an effort to save her life. She couldn't make it despite the doctor's best efforts, and she passed away 5 days after the surgery. The police found the suspect's gun. The suspect managed to escape on foot, leaving behind his Mercedes-Benz in the store's parking lot. However, on September 26, 12 days later, the authorities arrested 58-year-old Quincy Davis from Maryland. He's facing serious charges, including second-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, first-degree assault, and criminal possession of a weapon. Cordell has been tormented with grief since the murder of Imani. "I have not been the same. I have cried every single day ever since this has happened," he said. He is getting both mental and physical therapy. He is also working to ensure Quincy Davis goes to prison for life.